Okay, today is Saturday, February the 9th. A few things that is going on here in Kentucky is more taxes. We have a tax increase in Vanceburg for the electric. We also have a tax increase for Danville, and that's a water plant tax, actually. So they've been losing money for the last 20 years, which is probably bullcrap. Eastern Kentucky University is scheduled to lay off some employees. President warns that this guy. Here's a big article. 2 Kentucky abortion bills pass. Before you kill your baby, a face-to-face and an ultrasound. And there's 2 bills that was passed through the Senate, Kentucky Senate. One, you have to have a face-to-face meeting with a doctor. And the doctor has to have, I think there's, a licensed physician, doctor, and a social worker. Or a physician that has been delegated by a physician. You also have to have that was a Senate Bill 4. Senate Bill 5 is you have to have a ultrasound before you can have your abortion or kill your baby. Basically, you have to be radiated before you can do that. And it's the penalty for not doing so will be a $100,000 fine for a first offense and as much as a $250,000 fine for additional violations. I don't know if that is for the actual person that's having the abortion or the doctor that is killing the baby. And what's happening in the coal industry? The next move on coal, outlaw exports. This is basically what I get out of all of this. The feds are investigating coal companies for alleged fraud of what they're accused of doing. Since all the coal plants are shutting down here in America, they're wanting to sell overseas more, and that's what they're doing. But that's not the reason the investigation are being investigated. Let's see. Okay. It was raised by a series of articles by Reuters in December, which describes how U.S. mining companies operating on public lands are lowballing the value of their coal and selling it to affiliated middlemen who then boost the export price. The result is lower royalty payment to the government. And this guy had the nerve to put AKA you and me. I don't get no royalties for it, and I probably never will. I'll never see it, so I think that's just a mind game for all those lemmings out there. Be like, oh God, they're taking money from me. And basically, it's also like, if it is happening, I'm sure it has before in the past. Probably it will in the future. The government isn't getting top dollar for this royalty payment. And to me, it's just this will be the beginning of this will be like the beginning of them attacking and coming up with reasons for them, the government, legislators, whoever governs this land, to outlaw exports. No more selling internationally. And I think this right here will be like the turning point. This will be the wake-up call, if you will. 635 without power. That's the big snowstorm. Here's one. This is like a national news up on Infowars.com. Physicians assisted suicide measure passes in New Jersey. So now, if you have less than 6 months to live, and this has to be affirmed by 2 of your doctors that you have 6 months to live, you have the option to commit suicide in a good way. Magic thinking. Revoke EPA's permit authority. It's time to fight back, I guess. A Republican, David McKinley of West Virginia, recently introduced legislation to take away the Environmental Protection Agency's authority to revoke permits after the Secretary of the Army had issued the permits. And hopefully that would get passed. That sort of fighting back the tyrants that are trying to take over. I love this one. If you heard about those Navajo Indians near the Grand Canyon, I'm sure. If you heard about how they complain about the coal-fired power plant putting out all the smog right there, well, guess what? Studies show, this is from, let me think. Let me reread this. It's from like the wildlife thing or firefighting crap. Anyways, it's a lie. Most of the smog comes from fires in the Grand Canyon. And it also says that it talks about the haze around the Grand Canyon and how, the Indians don't want the coal-fired power plant to be up and running. Well, says that there is a Navajo environmental group that is fighting the generating station, which is the Navajo generating station. That's the coal-fired power plant near the Grand Canyon or whatever. And it says that although the Navajo people as a whole value the station for the jobs and income. So there's always 2 sides to a story, and that's something to remember. So, and Rolling Stones, bad news for coal means good news for the rest of us. I guess I wrote a little article on this. I didn't really write an article. I don't write articles. I just link to websites. I'm trying to get my catching pages up, and my website is slow as crap. Still loading. It's like 15 seconds already. Anyways, that article is up. Bad news for coal is good news for the rest of us. And I hope you enjoy this. And my website is InfoWarsKY.com. KY stands for Kentucky.